Hello, everyone. My guest today is Balaji Gopalan. He's this leads business development and strategy at a company called MedStack. As an expert in product management and building software platform ecosystem businesses across a wide range of industries. He's also a well-respected startup educator, advisor, and mentor, and is openly passionate about the role of ecosystems in industry transformation. Balaji, are you ready to take us to the top?
I am indeed.
All right. Tell us more about MedStack. What's the company do, and how do you make money?
Yeah, so MedStack is a platform that helps innovators in healthcare get to market faster. The thesis behind the company is established industries, especially those that are highly regulated and well practiced. We see a trend where digital innovation is accelerated by the implementation of a developer ecosystem who builds applications around central enterprise systems. And this is kind of my background and the kinds of things that I've done. So we see this happening.
All in medical or across many different sectors?
Many different sectors. So the idea is we're bringing this idea to medical, right? So this notion has existed in things like enterprise communications and education and marketing technology and a number of other fields. But it's never really existed in healthcare. And there's this perception that there isn't a lot of tech in healthcare. And it's actually not because there's no desire for it. Technology, especially digital technology, cloud-based technology, enables healthcare to do some very important things, such as deliver care remotely, deliver care in real time, make smarter decisions through data and AI, and help healthcare workflow work better. So there's a great appetite in the healthcare industry, be it hospitals, clinic networks, insurance, pharma, to adopt things like this. And there's lots of people trying to build them because we all have personal healthcare stories, and personal stories are what motivates entrepreneurs. So either as patients or providers, but getting them to collaborate has always been really, really difficult. And that's the problem that we solve.
And who are you selling to? The healthcare provider directly or what?
Yeah, so we've explored both, and we, in our journey over the past 3 years, we looked at both options. And what we realized is this whole idea for the healthcare industry is really new, and even healthcare digital procurement itself is new. And they're still kind of trying to figure out how to do things because they tend to evaluate purchase decisions based on things like patient ROI. And so we said maybe we're a little bit early for that model, but all of these vendors are trying to sell into the healthcare industry directly. So why don't we just be a cost to them? So what's really interesting about this is that there's this kind of supplementary strategy that emerges from it that's going to color where we're going to go. So the way the process works right now is a vendor, namely a health tech startup.
Wait, Balaji, sorry. Tell me first who you're selling to and then tell me the process. So who are you selling to today?
We're selling to the health tech companies, primarily digital health startups.
So like name one or two.
Yeah. So companies like CircleLink Health, companies like Frontive, companies like Curatio.
Great.
So there's a wide range of companies.
And these are all, it's SaaS-based pricing, or is it a different revenue model?
It's SaaS-based pricing because we're a hosting company. So that's what we charge them for.
Okay. And give me I don't want to go down every customer cohort. I'm sure you have many. What's the average customer pay per month, would you say?
Across our base, it's about $700 a month.
Okay.
So we start very economical, but then it scales as they need more stuff.
Yep, that makes a lot of sense. So go down the story there. So one of the vendors you just mentioned, they now use you to more rapidly put processes into the healthcare niche and give more value to their clients.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the idea is even if you've got this amazing innovation, selling into the healthcare industry is really hard because the amount of work to meet the privacy and security requirements of the healthcare industry, especially around patient data privacy, is so stringent and so complicated. It can actually be more work than building the app itself. That's what we help with. So by using our platform, all of those processes and commitments are standardized, and they can thereby get by the diligence process faster. And of course, the more we do, the more the hospitals start to recognize what they're seeing. And the next application that comes along says, oh yeah, I'm using MedStack too.
Yep.
MedStack has already been embedded and they get through the process.
So this is essentially like take like a Zapier or a SnapLogic or Elastic.io, these APIs to connect SaaS applications. You're essentially an API for this, but you also have the HIPAA compliance, other government related regulatory things built into your platform.
Yeah, I would say the better technology analogy for us is we're Heroku for healthcare.
A Heroku for healthcare, yeah.
Yeah, we're a hosting platform that builds in things that otherwise the application developer would have to do on their own. Namely operations around patient data privacy and security.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, so launched in 2014, I think you said 4 years ago. And then what have you scaled to today in terms of total customers you're serving?
We're at 45 right now.
Okay.
But 50-50 Canada, the US. However, we have just signed our first customer in Asia, and we have customers expanding their own businesses into Europe and Latin America. We're supporting them as well.
And I mean, what does growth look like today? What are you guys growing at year over year?
200%.
Oh, that's great.
So we've had a lot of growth over the last year. Our customer acquisition cost is decreasing rapidly.
What was it, and what have you decreased it to?
We're now sub $2,000. We were probably at $2,800 a year ago, and the main reason it's decreasing is because a lot of our sales are coming through referrals, and our story has gotten really sharp. We know exactly when to go after our customers. There is a too early and a too late for us, and we know what the right sweet spot is, how to get the customer there if they're not there yet. And we've been improving and constantly iterating on our onboarding processes, the culmination of which will be the launch of our self-service product later this summer.
That's great. So what does payback period look like today on the $2,000? How many months to get that back?
So we make our money back in really just a few months because
we add $700 a month. You get it back in 3 months?
And our margin's very high on that, right? So that includes what we pay to the infrastructure providers, but we're making a pretty healthy margin on it because of the value of all the things we put in, the ongoing support, and then the cost avoidance of things they don't have to spend money on themselves.
Yep. Have you bootstrapped the company, or you raised?
We've raised through convertibles and accelerators. We are raising our seed round right now.
Okay. So how much total in the company?
We've raised a total of $500,000 over 3 years.
Okay. And how much are you raising right now?
We're raising 1.5.
1.5. Still convertible note?
No, it's going to be priced equity.
Oh, priced equity. Very good. Do you want me asking what valuation you're aiming for?
It's not finalized yet.
Okay.
We have a term sheet from a lead investor, and we are going back and forth, but it'll probably settle somewhere around the $6.5 million mark.
And that would make you happy?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's pre-money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very good. And then look, in terms of revenue, 45 customers paying on average $700 a month puts you at about 31 grand a month in revenue. Is that generally accurate?
That's right.
Okay. And if that's up 200% year over year, that means you're doing what, like 10 grand a month in July 2017?
Yeah.
Something like that. Very good. What were you guys, so it's taken 4 years to get to this point, which is, many would say it's a long time to get 31 grand in MRR. What took so long?
It's 3. So we launched the company in 2015. And we spent the first little while really just talking to both sides of the market to figure out how they wanted to collaborate, because there was a lot of hearsay in this space and we wanted to know what the truth was. And we got our initial customers quite quickly, actually, and we started scaling based on their feedback because we're operating a process they would otherwise have to do their own. We were able to kind of build it and then add the automation as we go along. And every time we do product development, we add something to the platform that a subsequent customer can use. So what are we adding? We're adding support for different developer frameworks and different tools that our customers want, so they don't have to change their app to use us. And so, in the beginning, there was a lot of thinking around what the right business model was. Who do we sell to? What is the right price point? What is the message? And that's really scaled thanks to the support of programs like 500 startups that we did last summer.
Churn is critical in this kind of business. What's your churn today?
Mm-hmm. Churn is very low. It's not zero. We do know we sell to early stage companies, but we've, over the course of our entire life cycle, we've lost 10%, not even really. It's probably been a little bit lower than that. The reason is because our customers don't come to us until they have a commercial path in place. We might talk to them earlier, but we don't try to force a deal at that point. And because they're able to build the app, because we're not an API, they build the app without us, and then they can host it in our platform when they're ready. And then we're being a hosting environment, we're incredibly sticky. So nobody has churned because they go, well, I'd rather just do this on my own.
You talk about stickiness. Is net retention over 100% year over year?
Yeah.
Okay. How far over? Do you know?
Absolutely. Net retention.
So expansion revenue minus lost.
Yeah, expansion revenue minus lost. I'd say expansion revenue is. There's expansion and there's new customers. So if we look at just expansion, that revenue's 4 or 5x what we've lost. Mm-hmm. Because all of our customers have been with us for over a year and more than doubled their infrastructure with us.
Yeah, but if you lost a customer, that it was equal to the doubling in revenue, that would be net basically 0% retention, right? Because it didn't move one way. So do you know? I don't want to ask you numbers, by the way, that you guys don't actively use or track. Is that a number you track?
We track those numbers. I don't know if I don't have the ratio in front of me, but we do know I've got the kind of graph that I'm looking at, and
Okay. So
you
customers
know,
they 4 or 5x year over year is a good data point to have. That's kind of what you're at right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And why is that? They're just adding server capacity or seats or features or what?
Right. So it's a combination of the fact that they start relatively small because it's just to make sure that the app is working. But as soon as they add another hospital or another customer set, it's like a step function in terms of other things they need, both support performance, new features, and expansion. Also, there's the notion of the fact that if they're selling to hospitals, hospitals often require them to have a separate infrastructure per customer. So they sell that way too.
And what do you assume lifetime value is in terms of months and dollars for each customer?
So lifetime value, we're conservative in those estimates. So we usually say 3-4 years. We'll settle, around an average of $3,000 by the time that's done. That's probably kind of conservative considering where we're going.
Wait, why do you say 3,000? If you have 3 years of lifetime value, that's 36 months, and you said your average price point is $700 a month, that would be 25 grand in LTV, not $3,000.
Oh, no, but three grand per month. I'm sort of saying where we're going to end up with by the time 3 years is done.
Oh, I see. That's what they'll expand and grow to.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, very good. Good stuff. And last questions here before we wrap up. Team size, what are you at today?
We're at 7.
7. And where's everybody based?
Everybody's based in Ontario, around Toronto, about half in Toronto and half in a little town about an hour away called Hamilton, which has a very strong health tech presence.
Oh, very good.
So we are remote, but we're remote not too far away. So we meet twice a month.
Densely remote. That's what we'll call it.
Yeah, exactly. Close remote.
Yeah, very good. All right, let's wrap up here with our famous 5. Number 1, what's your favorite business book?
What's my favorite business book? 0 to 1.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying right now?
As a CEO that I'm studying right now, there's a bunch. Probably, a local hero, Tobias Lutke from Shopify. People tell us in the success for us would be look like the same for healthcare. So he's definitely somebody I admire.
Number 3, what's your favorite online tool for building your business?
My favorite online tool for building my business. Collaboration is the heart of everything we do. So I'd say we live and breathe by Slack. We can call that an online tool.
Yeah. Number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
Not nearly enough. My kids are worried. On average, I probably sit around 5.
Okay. And what's your situation? Married, single, kiddos?
I'm married. I've got 2 little girls. And that's my other big job.
That's great. And how old are you?
I am 45.
45. All right. Last question. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
So I wish my 20-year-old self knew that entrepreneurship was in my future, because I was actually somewhat surprised when it happened.
There you go. So you maybe would have gotten started earlier, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
Guys, there you have it. You would have jumped in faster to entrepreneurship. Again, launched MedStack.co about 3.5-4 years ago. Now serving 45 clients, paying $700 a month, doing about 31 grand per month in revenue. That's up almost 200% year over year from 10K per month back in July of 2017. They've raised $500,000, currently raising an additional $1.5 million priced equity round at a $6.5 million valuation. That's a pre-money valuation. His team is about 7 people based in Ontario. Again, really building what you would call kind of, Heroku for healthcare, right? Or basically server structure for healthcare to make it easier for vendors to push these new applications, these new ideas into the actual healthcare providers. All right, there we have it. Balaji, thank you so much for taking us to the top.
Thank you very much, Nathan. It's good talking to you.